Ms. Rahayu Mahzam.
Mr. Chairman, I gave birth to my son Aiden in 2017, and having him is one of the best things that has happened in my life. Aiden has Down syndrome and was also recently clinically diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. There are some challenges for the family, but I have so many things to be grateful for, and I am glad for the support that I receive to raise my child. I'm grateful for a government that cares. The enabling master plans and the evolution over the years reflect the efforts of the government in creating an inclusive environment for persons with disabilities, PWDs. This is an ongoing effort, and we need to continue building on existing initiatives, but I'm grateful for the effort of the team at MSF who continue to look at various ways to support PWDs and their families. I'm also grateful for activists and advocates who have blazed the trail for many PWDs and their families. Take Honourable Member Denise Phua, for example. Her years of advocacy and labour of love opened the doors for discussions and reviews and led to many meaningful initiatives that have made an impact to the sector. I would also like to mention Dr. Lim Hong Hui and the team at Caring SG. I would declare at this juncture that I have been asked to sit as an advisor to this organisation, but I must sincerely say that I am heartened by the efforts and the passion to support caregivers of PWDs and provide them with helpful resources. I'm also truly grateful and indebted to family members and friends who have provided unconditional support and love and have made this journey so much more meaningful. Their kindness and graciousness have led me to believe that there are many out there who are open and willing and are keen to see a more inclusive society, one that embraces different abilities. In my own experience and through conversations with parents of PWDs and people in the disability sector, there are still concerns about the level of understanding and inclusiveness in our society. Many parents have shared about unkind remarks people have made to them or the rude stares they receive when their child misbehaves in public. Some parents have shared about challenges they had in finding a suitable childcare or preschool in the vicinity of their neighbourhood. I've heard many instances of PWDs, especially those with intellectual disability, being bullied or taken advantage of in school or at work. Above all, what families of PWDs hope to see is for their family member to be treated with dignity. They are no lesser human beings and are as entitled to be treated with respect like any of us here. At this juncture, I would like to offer some observations and thoughts on creating a kinder and more inclusive society. Firstly, I would like to ask if the Ministry has been tracking the effectiveness of the various campaigns and effort in encouraging the public to be more inclusive. I'm heartened by efforts by various agencies like the See It Through Me campaign, and I'm always excited to participate in events like the Purple Parade. I believe there is now more awareness and sensitivity, but there is still some way to go before we can say that our community is truly inclusive and embracing of people with different abilities. Have the different campaigns and efforts to encourage inclusiveness in the community been successful? Do we have indicators in place to help us measure how we are doing as a community and targets which we can work towards? What more can we do to nudge behaviours and encourage people to be more open and compassionate towards PWDs and their caregivers? It may be useful to do a review or study so that we could assess a better approach to build on the current efforts. Secondly, I would like to propose that we take a more holistic approach in looking at opportunities to normalise different abilities within the society, in school, at work and in the community. PWDs have much to offer society. We should equip PWDs with skills and empower the community so that PWDs may contribute to society in some way. I had in my speech for the Ministry of Education Committee of Supply debate shared my thoughts on how this could be done in the school setting. I would encourage a similar approach for the workplace and in the community. For example, I think there is a need to engage extensively and meaningfully with employers to create better understanding of different abilities and provide support for the redesigning of jobs. I appreciate that there are already efforts on this front, and it is a challenging exercise. I feel though in the long run, there is much value to be gained. Otherwise, we will continue to typecast PWDs, especially those with intellectual disabilities, to just do menial tasks, and we do not get to tap on their full potential. Another area I believe we could work on is to develop various infrastructure within our communities to accommodate different needs. We do see a few inclusive playgrounds, braille in the lists, quiet rooms in public places, and that is always very encouraging. However, such awareness and sensitivity to various needs should be more pervasive as we continue to build our common spaces in this country. Thirdly, I think we need to continue to educate the community on the appropriate norms of social interactions and empower them to embrace people with different abilities. We should create opportunities for PWDs to fully participate physically and socially in the community. But I think we also need to learn how to do so meaningfully. I have been to events where PWDs were invited to attend as guests, but they were seated at a separate table or space and there was no interaction with the rest of the participants or guests. Some families of PWDs would get upset or offended with reactions from the public. I think often people behave the way they do because of ignorance. I believe the government can play a role in educating and creating understanding, but families of PWDs also need to be open and willing to embrace people who lack understanding, not shun or criticize them. Teach them, tell them kindly about the appropriate vocabulary, the appropriate approach, the appropriate way to interact. I believe that a conscious approach of integration and inclusiveness is necessary at the policy, organization, and individual level. I hope that we will continue to grow as a nation to be one that truly cares for the vulnerable and embrace differences.